So, Marty, what up, Marty?
Easy, easy, easy,
Hey y'all.
Boris, easy. Mike, 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 Mike. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another episode of Live on Broadway podcast. Greetings, greetings, greetings and salutations to you all. Greetings and salutations to you all. Welcome back to another episode of Live on Broadway podcast, where the situations matter more than the relationships. Perspectives will be respected. You heard me? Perspectives will be respected by everybody. If this your first time tapping in, don't be easily threatened or angered, because much like you, every giant here first started off as a perfect stranger. We ask everybody tap in and get in tune with what we doing on this platform, Live on Broadway podcast, and like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Tap in with us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are available. I appreciate y'all patience during this tardy time of ours. We got a lot to discuss and a lot to get into, so I'm not gonna hold you guys too long, because I know you guys been patiently waiting in the background. I got my Instagram, YouTube, I got my Instagram and Clubhouse listenership and viewership up here. One time for them round of applause. Clubhouse, what up though? Tap in.
Hey Broadway, what's up y'all?
What's happening with you, Allie? What's happening with you guys? YouTube, what up, though? Y'all know the vibes. Allison, are you excited to have this conversation? Because there's a lot going on outside no man is safe from.
I am excited. I want to get a lot of information out and figure out where we're going with it, because this is something that's going to take place probably for the next week or two, and there's breaking news every hour.
Right.
It's overwhelming.
Right. So yeah, we definitely want to be talking about this now and until the case is over, because I think that it's very important that we get it from the court of public opinion, and I should have actually finished that bar, because I think Prodigy said there's a lot going on outside no man is safe from. They don't care if you 6 feet or 8'1". I mean, somebody, Tory might be a little shorter than Meg. Meg might be a little taller. But anyway, we're gonna have a conversation, and I think that this is gonna be a very interesting one, because I have some questions for you guys. And tonight we're having a conversation, and we're talking about simply Tory Lanez, Meg the Stallion. We covered this back on episode season 3, episode 336. We had this conversation, and we're going to further go a little bit more in depth, because there's a lot of new information that's come out, and we're going to recap day 1 and day 2 of the trial. Mariposa, what's happening with you, shorty? I see you, King. Latasha, you hear me? Latoya, happy belated birthday. We had a good time celebrating you, Queen. I just want to wake that up and say that to you first and foremost. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, let's talk about it. First and foremost, Meg the Stallion, Tory Lanez. We've been talking about this for 2 years. 2 years. And it's an awkward situation, because normally you would think the dude, if he shot her, he would go to jail, right? If she said he shot him, he should go to jail. I just want to be clear up front that I'm not taking either side. I'm just gonna play some things and let the chips fall where they may. You get me? Mariposa, how you doing this evening, Queen?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for that. So I guess the first question would probably not be a question. It would probably be more so, let's play the sum up of what happened in day 1 of the trial. Let's start there. Live on Broadway podcast. The fuck? Live on Broadway podcast. So let's start there. Okay, let me do it this way. Then I got to do it the opposite way. Take that off. Second, Giants, bear with me. We trying some new things in them. Okay, let's try this. Live on Broadway podcast. Let's do this.
In the Tory Lanez trial, we had opening statements. Opening statements are still actually going. We had to pause midway through for lunch. Better than TV. If you watch the prosecution's opening statement, you would say guilty. If you then watch the defense's opening statement, you would say, what the hell is the prosecution thinking, charging him? Basically, the prosecution started with this story. They said that, hey, they're all at the party, and Tory is leaving the party with Meg. They're in the car. An argument breaks out, during which Meg says and insults his skills as a rap artist. This leads to a situation where she gets, in the Tory Lanez trial, we had opening statements. Opening statements are still actually going. We had to pause midway through for lunch. Better than TV. If you watch the prosecution's opening statement, you would say guilty. If you then watch the defense's opening statement, you would say, what the hell is the prosecution thinking, charging him? Basically, the prosecution started with this story. They said that, hey, they're all at the party, and Tory is leaving the party with Meg. They're in the car. An argument breaks out, during which Meg says and insults his skills as a rap artist. This leads to a situation where she gets out of the car and he shoots at her feet and yells, dance bitch. And then she ends up at a hospital, and a doctor takes out 3 fragments of bullet wounds from her foot. Now, if you just hear, and the prosecution says that Kelsey, the other woman in the car, is going to testify that Tory shot Meg. And Kelsey has a text message where she texts somebody that, hey, Tory shot Meg. And then the rest of the prosecution's case is based on all these calls and texts where Tory's like, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I'm so drunk. He never says that I shot him. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so drunk. So question what he's apologizing for. So that's the prosecution's case. Seems pretty easy. Then the defense comes up, and man, it gets spicy. First, the defense goes, they're not telling you about half of what's going on. The most important thing they're not telling you about an eyewitness who saw 2 women fighting, Kelsey and Meg. And so let's talk about why them 2 are fighting. Let's talk about how she was in the front seat. The gun was caught in the front seat. Let's talk about how she might have gunpowder. She does have gunpowder. Let's talk about how this has nothing to do with the fight between Tory and Meg and everything to do with the fight between Meg and Kelsey. And then the defense starts dropping the bomb. He basically says this, that they're in the car. Yeah, they left. But do you know why they left? They left because Kylie and Tory were in the pool together. And Kelsey and Meg both felt some type of way about that, to the point that Meg felt really some type of way about that. And she was really trying to go, to the point that eventually, because of how Meg is acting, this is according to the defense, Kylie Jenner goes to Meg Thee Stallion and says, it's time for you to leave. They all leave. The defense's point is what happens in the car is this. Tory questions.
Let's freeze frame for a second, because there's a lot of information to receive at one time. Let's freeze frame for a second. It's a lot of information to receive at one time. Tory, Meg, I pose you guys this simple question. Who do you think was wrong in Tory and Meg's situation? Live on Broadway podcast. Tap in with me. Clubhouse.
Oh, wow. There's a lot. I mean, I would automatically think that the fault would lie on Tory. However, I'm swayed to believe that the fault lies on the best friend or former best friend, Kelsey. I feel like she definitely has a play in this. I've always been a little weary and suspect about her presence and just how she was moving. She does not seem very genuine to me. And also the fact that she has gunshot residue.
Meg or Kelsey, you've been a little
Kelsey.
Kelsey, okay.
Kelsey, I've definitely been suspect about Kelsey. The fact that she has gunshot residue on her. If she was not near the gun, then why does she have it if she was allegedly in the car? So in my opinion, I believe that she definitely has something to do with it, if not the actual culprit.
Wow. Wow. All right, so look, just to give a little update, right? So they're saying that both Tory and Kelsey, as to my understanding, both had residue on them, as I understand. You get what I'm saying? They saying they both had residue on them. Well, up though, collectors, hit the button. I'm bringing y'all up. They saying that they both had residue on them, and it gets interesting because through it all, make sure I got that. Okay, cool. Through it all, it seems as though Tory has a great freaking defense team. You get what I'm saying? But Meg's bag is long. You know, that's Rock Nation. So tap in with us. Who do you think was right? Who do you think was wrong? Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez. Shit, Kelsey Nicole, let's add her into it, right? Kelsey Nicole, we got DWI. I'm coming to you first. Clubhouse, tap in with us.
Listen, I think honestly, I'm gonna go a different route, Broadway, if I may. I'm gonna go with. It's just interesting that when all this happened, he's in the middle. He was also in the middle. Check this out, Broadway. Check this out, because he was also in the middle of being in the. He was on his way of getting master.
Hit the like button.
Getting master. Getting his master.
His master's back, music-wise.
Music-wise. And notice that it's a repetition of where we see when people are getting their masters, you know, funny things start to happen.
Okay. But who do you think was wrong in this matter, right? Between Kelsey, Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez. Because that's an interesting piece to unpack. I just want to do it in a certain sequence.
Okay. I'm gonna go with all three. All three.
All three. All right, all three. He said all three. I wonder why you're saying all three. Okay, but all right, I'm a roll. I'm a roll. Everybody on YouTube, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Clubhouse, scroll to the top. Hit that link and hit that like button, please. Show your social currency. I got the collectors up here. Beloved, how you feeling, King? First and foremost, I know you was under the weather a little bit.
A little better. I'm a little better. You know what I mean? I'm a little better. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, when you told me you wasn't feeling the best, I was like, oh man, I hope it's not Corona. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, I ain't catch that shit yet.
Oh man, you're
Inshallah.
a lucky man. Inshallah.
Inshallah, I'm a giant.
In this matter, I come to you and I ask you the same thing, King. Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion. This is a case that's been going on for 2 years. You get what I'm saying? I would think personally that if it was a closed, open and shut case, it would have been concluded. So it is a lot of different moving pieces plus what he's actually being charged with, right?
Right.
So
right.
Kelsey, Meg, Tory, who's at fault?
In my opinion, I say Tory's at fault because as a black man in America, we got to know that we are endangered species. Like, I feel like he had the most to lose out of all three of those parties because he's the most independently successful. Then on top of that, even though those were black women, he's a black man. Like they don't want us winning in America. So I feel like Tory, especially how messy Megan Thee Stallion is, like you could deal with people like that, but you can't be bouncing out with them. You can't be in places with them and shit like that. Like you get up with her, when you get up with her, you do it how you do it, and that's that because that's the type of female she is. But she already confirmed that during that same time that she was dealing with Tory, she was dealing with the baby also.
Right.
And they said that her and her homegirl was dealing with Tory, the baby, and Ben Simmons. Like that's wild crazy for him to be moving around. Enough you could deal with a female like that if that's your choice, but for him to be moving around the town with something like that, with everything he has going on in life, I feel like that was his fault. I feel like he should have valued himself more, value his career more. Man, you got to take control of your shit, especially as a man. You know how we talk, way, especially as a man. Like, boy could have avoided all that by just not even playing her that close. You know it's not that type of jam. Why are you playing it that close for?
Oh, man, there's so many different moving pieces to this. I wish it was open and shut. You know, I just put up a poll, YouTube, tap in with us. Who was at fault? Kelsey, Tory, or Meg? That's what I want to know from YouTube. YouTube viewership, tap in with us. So, all right, so here's the thing. Because I do see what you're saying, right? I do put responsibility on men. You know what? I wish we all put more responsibility on our same sex. You get what I'm saying? To get things right. I wish we let the accountability, instead of blaming each other, men and women, I wish that we allowed each other to hold each other accountable for just that. Because I'm picking up what you're putting down, beloved. And I do feel the same way. I do feel Tory is at fault because regardless of whom or what, it's us that sets the tone. You get what? Even if they're in a relationship or not, and it got a little messy. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it and thought that this situation is perfect for us to have a conversation about is because Live on Broadway podcast, we foster relationships, right? Be it good, and even if it's intimate or if it's not. In this situation, Tory was intimate with Megan. But as it seems, as more information comes out, Tory was first intimate with Kelsey, and then Kelsey got sick, went home for a little bit. Tory got next to Megan. Him and Megan start doing what they doing, and then Meg, as I understand, allegedly, Meg and Kelsey had left, and Meg came back for her slipper, shoe, or something she forgot. When she came back, that's when they swung back around and got Tory, as I understand, allegedly. I don't know the facts. I'm only speaking what I'm telling you, what I'm hearing. Also, something else to be understood here is that Tory was allegedly shooting his shot at Kylie. That Kylie situation is a third party, but is interesting, is a wild card because allegedly she's on time to be a witness. The driver is on time to be a witness too. I think his name is Jaquan Smith. He's on time to be a witness as well. I'm going to play the rest of this clip and tap in with you guys. Live on Broadway podcast. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
He was really trying to go to the point that eventually, because of how Meg is acting, this is according to the defense, Kylie Jenner goes to Meg Thee Stallion and says, "It's time for you to leave." They all leave. The defense's point is what happens in the car is this. Tory questions Kelsey. "Hey, Kelsey, why are you backing up Meg for me trying to, get it on with Kylie Jenner? Meg has been snaking men from you your whole life. I hooked up with you, Kelsey, and then Meg went behind your back and hooked up with me. And, Kelsey, this is not the first time. You have been hooking up with Ben Simmons. Meg went behind your back and hooked up with Ben Simmons. You have been hooking up with the baby. Meg went behind your back and hooked up with the baby." And so the defense starts dropping all these grenades. The crowd is captivated. The jury's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And there's every reason to believe that there could have been a fight here, not between Tory and Meg, but between Meg and Kelsey. And the shooting could have not been Tory. It could have been done by any one of the other people in that car. What does all of this mean? Well, I'll tell you a couple things. First, Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's husband, is going to testify, so this will continue to be much easier. Two, the judge is terrific. I expect a very fair trial. The lawyers on the defense side are terrific. I don't know what the lawyer was doing, giving an opening presentation that made it seem like the most open and shut case ever, when in fact there are huge questions, including an eyewitness who saw two women fighting, suggesting that you have to explain that theory to the jury, and you didn't. I don't love the prosecution's opening in that regard. Stay tuned. We'll have the full coverage here. It's up and it's stuck in the Tory Lanez trial. So let's just be clear here. The lawyer that's reporting back on this, that we receiving this correspondence from, is Lawyer for Hire. He's on Instagram. He covered the 6ix9ine case. Homie seemed to be very, very thorough and relaying the message, so forth and so on. So
I want to ask you guys. The first question is Ben Simmons, the baby, Tory Lanez. Why do you guys think Meg Thee Stallion's sexual history is being brought up? Tap in on that. Chew on that for a second. I'll go to you first, Collectors.
I think because it has a lot to do with the story, just like how Duke was just breaking it down to us right there. Because it's a reason why all that took place. And it seems like it has something to do with her and her friend's sexual history of sleeping with the same guys. Like, it ain't two, like, it's kind of 1 + 1 = 2. The real question is who fired the firearm at this point. But as far as them being messy, as far as them being sleeping around with dudes, that shit is clarified. Like, she didn't even deny the baby shit. She got up on her concert and said, I give my pussy to who I want to.
Period.
She didn't, like, she kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? She kind of iced up and let you know, like, yeah, I did that. So I think that that's a major part, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a major part because it's going to explain why her and homegirl, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, and this is like you said, we need to start holding our own sex accountable because these females is out here yelling all this shit. But them two girls, three, that means probably in the time that they was friends, they probably done fucked on 9 of the same niggas. That's messy.
Wow.
Messy. So hold them accountable for their shit. That's some real messy shit. But that's how messy situations sprawl out. It don't care. It don't matter how much it's going to sprawl out a certain way on a certain level, but messy shit like that is going to always sprawl out like that. Always. Just how it went down. Messy. People fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because that's some messy shit. Y'all over there. That's nasty. Y'all homegirls. And y'all grown.
And y'all big grown.
Y'all ain't 17. Y'all grown women. Sharing buddy. Nasty.
Interesting.
Period.
Interesting.
Period.
Clubhouse.
Nasty, you know what I mean?
And I agree. Listen, man, this shit is spicy, man. Clubhouse, I throw you guys the same question. Why do you guys think Meg Thee Stallion's sex history is on trial?
So the reason is because, like Alexa said, that part I can agree with, is that it is about accountability. There's also the matter of the motive. They want to know if it's a domestic violence situation. Domestic violence is basically geared towards anybody known to the victim. So it could be a former boyfriend, a friend,
a former girlfriend,
even platonic. Yes, a former girlfriend, even a family member. So all of that goes under the umbrella of domestic violence. So they want to know how well does she know her assailant and how what the motive would possibly be if it is just random. So her knowing that, or them knowing that her and Tory were intimate, that is definitely a DV situation. But they want to know that for those reasons. For those reasons.
Tap in with us. We got Shorty. Welcome to the stage. M to the RN. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ashton, what's happening with you, guy? I see you outside, man. I appreciate that love you showed us on TikTok, beloved. I appreciate that. And you definitely had some bars and bombs you was dropping. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage, guys. I pose you guys the same question. Ashton, since you off your mic, beloved, why do you think Meg Thee Stallion's history, sexual history, is being brought to trial?
What up, man? Good seeing you this evening. I think that it's being the trial because it all plays a part in how everything's gonna play out as far as with her interaction with Tory Lanez. So before he was just some crazy dude that shot her in the foot. Now it's different. Now it's, we was fighting because I was sleeping with your best friend, and this is why all of this happened. You know, the best friend came into the play and everything else like that. So I think that's why the question of were you sleeping with him or not is so important. And then on top of that, it's also, if she's going to lie about that, she lied about, if it's proven, she lied about the gunshot, and she lied about not sleeping with him, then what else in the case is she lying about? What else has she gone out and said in public interviews and everything else that she lied about? Now that all that favors for him as proven like, hey, yo, I'm not what she made me out to be. I'm not what she was out here telling the public. So I feel like that's why everything right now is important, because if she lying about this, then she lying about everything else.
Well, and you took one of my points, right? Because on the back end, I keep saying to myself, why lie when Gayle King? Matter of fact, let me play that for a second. Gayle King interviewing Meg Thee Stallion live on Broadway podcast.
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan? Did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
Why lie? Why lie? What we doing here? Why lie? What's the sense of lying? Why would you?
That wasn't a lie. But what if that wasn't a lie? What if they fucked once?
Huh?
That's not a sexual relationship.
That's a lie then. That's a lie then if they fucked once.
I know that's right, bro.
Wait, no. If they have sex one time, that's sex. It's a sexual relationship.
That's a sexual encounter. You got to think about it from a legal perspective. That's a sexual encounter. If myself and one other person have sex one time, that's a sexual encounter. If we continue the sexual encounters, it's now a sexual relationship.
So we got to have sex more than one time. More than one time for it to be a sexual relationship.
Yes, to have a
Get
sexual
the
relationship.
fuck
Yes.
out. Yo, what are y'all doing? Y'all splitting their hairs. Y'all splitting their hairs.
No. Let me
hold on. Let me ask you something. She wasn't.
I want to answer your original question. You asked a good ass question, and I'm going to tell you why they keep bringing up her sexual period ex-wife. If I was Tory's defendant lawyer and I'm trying to get him off, I'm going to make her as incredible, as discredible. I'm going to discredit everything about her, period. They're doing a very good job. Because what they're trying to do now is take the heat off of Tory and put it on to Kelsey, right? So now, if the jury is hung, what does that mean? It's a hung jury. It's a mistrial.
It will be a mistrial.
And I'm sorry about that. They're making it. They're causing reasonable doubt. It's a perfect plan. It's the perfect plan. Now I'm not gonna voice my opinion on who's who, what's what. But what I will say is, as a defense attorney, if I was his defense attorney, I would definitely find the closest thing possible to be able to distract the jury, to insert reasonable doubt, to get my client off via reasonable doubt and have a mistrial. Period.
But I think the biggest thing is, especially when that interview came, it's like, why? Your sex life is your sex life, and that's your business, or whatever the case may be. But if she's been adamant on, oh, I've slept with this person, or yeah, I'm with this person, and has never shamed away from that before. So when it's asked in an interview, and it's like, yo, did you sleep with this dude? Why say, oh, nah, I ain't do it, or not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why play it off instead of just being like, yeah, we did. It happened one time, and whatever else. Like, the fact of the matter is, the truth is always going to come out. And I think that's what's happening now, is that, like, too much of her story is starting to unfold and not align at all.
So here's the thing, right? Right on the back of that, right? What I'm really stuck on a sexual encounter and sexual relationship. I'm really stuck on that.
I'm gonna help you.
Hold on, Queen. Let me just get mine off, right? And then you can respond to me. Nah, you good. Sexual encounter, sexual relationship. Sexual relationship is a relationship involving sexual intimacy, types of affair, intimacy involving leisure, a sexual, usually secretive or illicit sex relationship.
Exactly. So an affair is not,
it's a part of it. That doesn't mean that's it, though. It gives multiple things. It gives sex and secrecy. It does, and you know, being secretive about the person you having sex with. It doesn't totally write off. Can somebody pull up sexual encounter, please, and tell me the difference?
The encounter is an unexpected or casual meeting. That is the definition I'm looking at it right now.
Do you think, Allison? Do you?
Are you looking up encounter or sexual encounter?
Do you think? Go ahead. Give the answer to that first.
Not in here. What was your question?
So the
question was: were you looking at sexual encounter or the word encounter?
I'm looking at the word encounter. You don't have to have a sexual encounter to understand the entirety of the phrase. So again, if it is a casual, unexpected meeting, that means that you are having sex only one time, unexpectedly, booty call, a drive-by. So therefore, you know, I'm agreeing with you. I'm giving the definition.
So do you really think so? So wait, are we really hold on? Are you guys thinking that the courts are really going to split the hair of it? So if you hold on, let me say this. Because if you have an affair, right, one time, which is against your significant other, you think a divorce attorney is going to say, well, it was only one time, it was an encounter, and it wasn't a sexual relationship? Furthermore, when Gayle King asked, all right, collectors, tap it with me, King, because this is some bullshit.
Listen. Her legal team in the streets, if she got that type of legal team in that motherfucking courtroom, this shit gonna be funny, because this is crazy what I'm hearing from these females. What if she fucked them once? That's not a lie.
Just make that make sense.
That whole accountability thing, bro. I don't see why everybody. I don't see why females feel like they gotta protect her.
Hello.
She's leading your daughter in the wrong way. She puts out the wrong message. You would have never heard Queen Latifah, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, none of them in no mixed up shit like this back in the days when you found out they fucking and why she lied the first time when they asked, why she lied when they asked her now about her sexual encounters and she didn't lie about her past sexual encounters is because this time it's more on the line. Those other times when people were asking her about her sexual encounters and she was standing tall in them, it was nothing on the line. So we know why she's not saying she didn't, you know what I'm saying? She's lying about her encounter with Tory. We know the reason.
Wow. Tap in with me, beloved. Tory, Meg, why did King, beloved?
Okay. We are custom manufacturer.
Nah, get him.
Nah. Yeah, you I don't know.
Back him up.
Yeah, you gotta go. Tory and Meg, I got you right now, guys. Tory and Meg, I think the reason why she lied is because she didn't know what to say. They didn't prep her on that part. When Gayle goes and says, yes, she had to think about it. She had to literally think about it. We know she's lying. So you can split the hair and call it what you want. A sexual encounter is different from a sexual relationship. You had sex with Tory, and that's what Gayle King was asking you.
I understand that, but what needs to be understood is that whether right or wrong, the law has a lot to do with verbiage. And if you use certain words in certain ways, you can get jammed up. What I'm saying is nobody ever asked her before Gayle, did you have sex with Tory? Was there any type of was there a sexual relationship? So you mean to tell me a sexual relationship is a relationship that's only based off of sex and there's nothing else? So I can't go out and have sex with a woman one time and say we've had sexual relations? Fuck is y'all talking about?
Sexual relations is very different from a sexual relationship. You can't change the definition of words.
Man, she fucked them. We know this now.
That's it.
I know that's not even up for debate. We know they fucked.
So I'm just trying to understand, why are you?
Let me preface this with saying that my initial goal was to go to law school, and I almost got into law school. You understand? So I did all of the classes that led up to that. I decided to change my career path. But trust and believe, I know the law.
So do you
what
think?
I'm saying is that if I was your lawyer and you had an amassed $100 million, and she wants $50 million of that shit, and she says that you had a sexual affair, but you know for a fact you only fucked that bitch once, I'm going to say she is lying, Your Honor. She's manipulating the system. It was only a sexual encounter. It was a mistake. He slipped up. It was not an affair. It was not a multiple meetings. There were no multiple meetings. There were no multiple sexual hangouts for any of that. He met the stripper at the strip club. He fucked her and he left. That's what discredits her wife.
So wait, you think they only had sex one time, M? I'm asking you this.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not. They probably had sex a million, but we talking about the law right now.
All right, so right. Just let's stay there in the law. Let's just stay there in the law circuit, right? Meg, sexual history is being brought up, not as part of this case. It's being brought up to pretty much specify her encounters. One, why would you lie, right? I'm not even going with that narrative that you're talking about, and respectfully, I'm not going with it. I'm not rolling with it. I'm not jacking it. I think that sexual relationship, sexual encounter, spin it however you want to spin it, right? Because at the end of the day, I think any judge would see through that, and I think a judge would probably be like, all right, whatever, right? But you have sexual relationship, sexual encounter, relationship, all the same thing through Broadway eyes. With Ben Simmons, the baby, so you just out here encountering, and there's nothing wrong with encounter. Your sexual history is not being used to shame her, I believe. I believe it's being used to run and say, you know what? You outside and you moving in a certain way, and how can we believe anything that you're saying moving forward when first you lied about saying it was glass in your foot, and then you turned around and you said it was a gunshot. Then you say, I saw Tory hanging off the side of the car, and then you saying that I was my back was turned it's just too many inconsistencies is all I'm highlighting. To you, to say, I agree with what you said, M. I don't personally got a dog in the race. I'm just looking at the facts to be the facts, and that's it. What up though, Adquel? Pull up, beloved. Pull up. I'm gonna add you to the gram. My only thing with Meg is there's a lot of inconsistencies there. And if you did, and if he did that shit, Meg, why are you out here lying for? I believe if he did it, then he should go to jail. But you lying, and the inconsistencies in her story doesn't help the case lean in her favor. It doesn't. Zero amount. You lying about it does not help you. Too many inconsistencies.
If it was a guy,
and this is why. And this.
Hold on. One mic. Go ahead, Em. Then we'll go to you, Ash.
This is why I said if I was his defense attorney, I would be having a fucking field day because you can put her sexual history on trial. Not only that, but you fucking your best friend, nigga. You so out of control. You fucked your best friend, nigga, 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And then that's why she shot you. So now, because of that, it's not just about the sexual history. The sexual history is leading to Chelsea. And after that, that's when I insert reasonable doubt.
Just mute your mic on Instagram. No, I hear you, and I'm rolling with that. I see exactly what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. We're gonna come to you.
That's all I was saying the whole time, Brody. That was it. That was all I was saying the whole time.
Marcy, we're gonna come to you in 1 second, Queen. Let me tap in with Ashton. Okay. Ashton. One time.
Ooh, okay.
I was gonna say.
Drink some water.
I was gonna say, if this was a guy in this scenario, which, and I'm not speaking about anybody in here, because I haven't heard anybody necessarily like clear flat.
Just hold on, Ashton. Marcy, just mute your mic on Instagram, please, because you coming in. Go ahead, Ash.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that anybody. I haven't heard anybody in here flat out clear as day say, "Oh, she innocent, she telling the truth, whatever." Blah blah blah. But if we're looking at this, and I think that her status as a celebrity and the cult following, I would say that she has, especially with women, plays a big part in why people defend her so heavy. Because anybody that has no skin in the game can look at this and be like, there's like you said, there's way too many inconsistencies going on in here. And if this was per se a guy, like if roles reversed, if this is Tory Lanez on the stand and you're looking at his story that he told and you're seeing holes and everything, it would be clear cut and day. Everybody would be like, he's guilty, lock him up and put him away.
So wait, impromptu question.
When the report first came out, it was quick, clear as day. We didn't even get all the information yet. It was just Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. That man got blackballed off of everything. Every artist stopped fucking with him. Everybody stopped coming in with money with him. Everybody. Quick. So, in my opinion, the same thing should happen with Meg. The same. If
it won't. It won't. Around, I promise you, it won't.
It won't. And it won't. It won't. It will not.
It won't.
It will not.
Because naturally in this country, we have a certain sympathy for women. Just based on a basic level, there's a certain sympathy for women. And I'm not saying women shouldn't be, looked at and identified as such, right? But I'm just saying a lot of times certain women use that system against them or use that damsel in distress thing to their favor, and it becomes manipulative. Excuse me. So my impromptu question is simply why, and I'm gonna ask you this first, Ashton, then I'm gonna throw it to Marcy on Instagram. But I want everybody to participate in this question. Why are women seemingly so protecting Meg? Why are women seemingly hold on? We're gonna go to Ashton, then I see you, Bree. I got you. We're gonna go to Ashton first. Why are women seemingly protecting Meg? According to what you just said.
In all honesty, I think it is the movement that she started, because when she hit the scene, she was already popping, but when she hit the scene, Hot Girl Summer, that thing has taken over everything. The only other thing I've seen bigger than that is being a city girl. So I think that it was what women attached Megan Thee Stallion to, the lifestyle that she projected and boosted a lot of women into being a part of. That hot girl summer, I'm on my hot shit. Fuck these niggas. I'm out here getting money. I'm out here getting to these paper. If you ain't trying to pay for my date, if you ain't trying to pay for my hair and my nails, get the fuck out the way. That type of vibe that she constantly was giving off. And I think that, and to me it's weird, but a lot of people feed so much into that when these things start happening, and Meg Thee Stallion was like, he shot me. Her fans were just like, well, there it is, done deal. I don't need no proof. I don't need any proof. I don't need to hear, you can show me a million facts and I'm going to still call you a liar. And at the end of the day, it's just a toxic following that she has. Nicki Minaj has the same following, the exact same following.
Where they weaponize their fan base. Yes. I follow you. King. I follow you, King. One time on Bree. One time, Queen. Then I'm coming to you, Marcy.
So I do feel like it's a mixture of what Ashton said, and then on top of that, it was the time period. A lot of things were heightened during that time, like George Floyd actually, that whole situation. And then following that, like, she's a woman and she's a victim of getting shot. That's all people see. You know what I mean? Just on a surface level. Sure. So it's just like, okay. And then layering on top of that doesn't even make, I guess, like Tory Lanez's like case a little shaky, is the fact that he has like a past history of domestic violence. So it's just like all of that would just instantly make the average person just side with her. You get what I mean? Instead of like actually taking a step back and then looking at it for what it is. So that's my take.
Nah, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Queen. I want to throw it to Instagram for a little bit. Marcy, tap in with me, Queen. How you feel? Wait, One time. It's funny because Sasseries on YouTube said Kelsey said Megan. Listen to me. I'm saying this all wrong. Kelsey says Tory paid for her lawyer in an interview. Then when asked, she said she didn't remember. Make it make sense. She also said, so Bill Clinton said he didn't have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. Is that valid? Wake that up. Tap in with me, Marcy.
Wake that up.
Can I hear that interview again? I just want to analyze it a little bit.
Which one? The Gayle King one?
Yeah, when she responds to when they ask her about it.
Gladly. Live on Broadway podcast. Check it out.
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan? Did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
I didn't. It was the and the pause for me.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you, being a woman that's been sexually assaulted, you don't and pause. A sexual assault is a sexual assault. That's it.
But wait, where you get the assault from? Where's the assault at?
I said, if there is a sexual assault, there's a sexual assault. And you don't, you're in panic mode when something like that happens. When something like that happens to you, go into panic mode. You're like devastated. Mm-hmm. It's not something you can even control. So when something like that is traumatizing and it happens, you're screaming. You just can't help it.
Well, first of
all, I'm not understanding that because I'm not believing her. I'm sorry, I'm not believing her at all. I'm not saying it didn't happen or something didn't happen, but you had sex with somebody. If it got out of control or something else, you were still having sex with that person.
So here's the thing. Just hold on 1 second, Marcy. Hold on 1 second, Queen. Megan wasn't sexually assaulted, right?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And I saw where you was going. I was trying to understand. So Megan wasn't sexually assaulted, right? Megan was shot by allegedly Tory Lanez. Just mute your mic, King. On Instagram, mute your mic because we can hear you. Megan was allegedly shot by Tory Lanez. And the case that we're having a conversation about is pretty much where a young I'm sorry, this guy was throwing me off. Meg was allegedly shot by Tory Lanez. So the clip that I just played to you was Meg Thee Stallion in an interview by way of Gayle King. And Gayle King said to, Meg Thee Stallion, hey, did you ever have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Okay, she says, no, we never had a sexual relationship. But then it comes out later that she did have a sexual relationship with Tory, right? Or encounter, however you want to word it, right?
Right.
That she did. So we're asking that coupled with her saying when she first allegedly got shot that, I didn't get shot. It was glass in my foot. It was glass. And then she said, no, I got shot. And then she said, it's just a lot of inconsistencies. So I'm just wondering, one, why would she lie? But even more so, why does it seem like women are protecting Meg?
Well, women are going to protect women, and that's just a thing that women are going to protect women. However, I don't believe that innocent anybody should go to jail. And we never give the benefit of the doubt. We're already saying he's guilty without even giving him a chance. Pretty much. And as a woman that has been through a lot of stuff, it's not fair.
Sure.
It's not fair to the man, as a woman, as a mother, that he shouldn't have a free trial. We're already saying we're condemning him without him even talking. Yes, we're listening to her story, and we're not saying things didn't happen to her. However, I want to hear him. I want to know what he's saying before I can if I was a prosecutor, I'm not going to look, I'm going to see both sides. I'm not going to just want to put somebody in jail because that's going to hang on me for the rest of my life, that I put an innocent man in jail without me questioning him too. Not just the victim, but the other guy, because there's a lot of people in jail that have not done anything, that I don't know why women like to lie a lot, inclusive in a lot of people that I know. Not going to say names, but I don't have all the facts, but if I was to see the facts here, I want to know what he says, not just what she says.
So interestingly enough, right? And thank you for that commentary, Marcy. You on Instagram, Loved by Many said, cause I guess they're going off of the wordplay piece that we just talked about, sexual encounter, sexual relationships. So if you don't nut, did you have sex? Like, that's what he said. So he said, because if I didn't nut, we didn't have sex. Like, is there a big difference in between it? So if you didn't nut, did you consummate the marriage? Did you
That's
not?
right.
I mean, I'm just trying to understand, like in a court of
sex
law.
is sex.
Like, just sex is sex. Sex is sex.
If you want to categorize it in your world, but if you're going to take it to trial, you had sex with him and you're saying you didn't, you're backpedaling that you're lying.
Right.
And lies get thrown out of, you're going to put an innocent man and you're already lying so many times. No, I don't agree with that at all.
I want to ask you, but is there a difference with Trey? Because Trey said protecting or siding. I wonder why, because you said something, Marcy, because that's what women do. We protect women or because we side with women or whatever. Is there a difference? But do you guys believe there's a difference between siding with and protecting?
I feel because we're softer. Like, I was actually seeing her interview, I started to feel bad, right? Because it's the way that you're not going to see the man sitting there like crying, saying, I got sexually assaulted. I know men that got sexually assaulted, but they don't speak about it. And
does that make them stronger or weaker because they don't speak about it?
I believe that would make them stronger, but in society, they feel that they would be looked on weaker. But there's a lot of females that sexually assault men all the time, slap them, this, that, but that's okay.
Let me ask you something, Marcy. If God forbid, right, your significant other got oral sex by way of somebody, right, and he said I didn't, and you asked him, and he said I didn't have sex with him. I didn't have sex with her. I only got head. Is that sex?
That's sex to me. Yes, sex to me. That's it.
I'm just because I'm reading the comments and I'm trying to understand exactly what the sexual encounter versus relationship. I'm still stuck on that one because there's just zero accountability there.
What it really is, man?
What up?
You know what it is?
What up?
They don't want to admit they don't want to admit that the hot girl's a fucking hoe girl. Period. Son is wrong. Tory, if Tory did that, because we don't know yet, if he did that, is wrong. But I'm gonna pull up on some ghetto shit. Me and you from the hood. He was fucking with homegirl longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
She probably tripped out that night in the car. And her emotional mind, you know how it is. I mean more than you to her. I've been fucking with you longer. I'm gonna wild out. I know your hammer's around. I'm gonna grab your hammer. And I'm gonna tell this bitch I'm a shooter. And the gun go off. Either it happened like that or he did it. He was wrong for doing that shit if he did it. And these females don't want to admit that she's a fucking hoe girl. There's a difference between a hot girl and a hoe girl. The fucking hoe girl. You out here with your home girl and y'all just knocking down the same pins. Knocking down the same pins.
Wow.
I have to give you an example too.
Wow.
There was when I went out with my friends, with a lot of my friends.
Just
and
hold on 1 second,
Yes,
Marcy.
wow.
Just wow. Just let that sit there, please, for a moment. They don't want to admit they hot girl's a whole girl. Wow.
Some hood shit happened. And Tory ain't supposed to be in no hood shit. Like I said, he's a grown-ass man. He got a career. He probably gonna go down to Canada legend. You ain't supposed to be involved in no hood shit. We could predict what happened there, bro.
Yeah.
I could easily see her grabbing that grip and doing that because one of my joints who fucked with me like that caught me fucking around with her friend. She gonna grab the grip if the grip is around. And you better not stop me.
Interesting.
It's how it go when you doing hood shit.
Marcy, say your piece, Queen, because I'm about to throw it back to Clubhouse. Marcy, tap in one time, Marcy.
I was just gonna say, there was an incident with something similar like that happened with a friend of mine, and I'm telling you, she was always drama, accusing a lot of men of doing stuff like that, and I had it with her because she was always so disrespectful to men, and I mean, until the point where she'd spit in somebody's face, and I mean, she got something that was very similar where, I don't know, but you spit in my face, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, that's just going to set people off.
Sure.
And just because you're a female doesn't mean you're going to get slapped. I mean, we want equal rights, right? Well, equal is equal. You spit in my face, you're going to get slapped. Why does it make a difference that I hit harder? You should have known that my hand hits harder if I'm a man.
Got you. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you, Marcy. Thank you for that, Queen. Stay with us because it's going, the plot thickens, it gets deeper. Clubhouse, what's happening? The question I'm posing, and I would like you guys to tap in on, why does it appear as though women are protecting Meg? Because there's a lot of inconsistencies. Part of the conversation that was had before some of you guys pulled up was, you know, if a man was in the same situation, you know, it'll be, if the roles were reversed, it'd be open and shut because the man would have a lot of inconsistencies. He lied about this. He lied about that. That doesn't actually, what he said didn't actually pan out over here. If it was directly in reverse, and there would be a lot of inconsistencies on the man's side, inside of the story that he's relaying to the world, inside this whole ordeal, it would be easy to say he was lying. We're not going to say he was guilty, but to say that this nigga done lied a lot, like a lot. So it seems like a lot of women are protecting men. I mean, a lot of women are protecting Meg. Tap in with us. Live on Broadway podcast.
So Broadway, what's up? Good evening, everybody.
What's happening, Bougie?
I'm going to just say this. Men do not get scrutinized about their sex life the way women do. Men are not held accountable for their behaviors in relationships like women are. And so we are at a point, I think, culturally, where folks are like, no, it's not okay. Women are historically made to prove that they are victims, made to, especially Black women. No one takes it. You gotta have irrefutable evidence in order for people to have any kind of entertainment of what you're possibly saying. Now, in terms of inconsistencies, you tell me tell me the same story twice and see how consistent you would be in your recount. It's like,
say that again.
Impossible. I said, yeah. Say you were to tell me the same story twice. It's impossible that your story is going to be the exact same way every single time you recount it.
The fuck is you talking about?
Yes, it is.
Hold on, wait, hold on. The truth only, and this is literally a saying, the truth only faces one way. Hold on. They say the truth only faces one way. A lie faces every other.
But Broadway, guess what? When that's a saying, this is not testimony, okay? When you have to sit there and recount an event over and over and over, literally, there are going to be small-minded.
Nope.
So wait. Answer the question. Why are women protecting Meg? Hold on 1 second, Marcy. Why are women protecting Meg? That's the question.
Because nobody protects Black women but Black women.
Get the fuck out of here. What the
Wow.
No. We not doing You tripping.
The fuck is you talking about?
I'm telling the truth.
No, that's not
Broadway,
true.
Broadway, let me take this one. Hey, Broadway.
Please, ask him, please.
That's the truth.
Please go for it,
All right, okay. if we talking about, you made the reference as far as women's body counts are scrutinized, and to a certain extent, that's a little bit true, but that only applies in dating. When we talking about courthouse law, the law is always and has forever been on women's side.
No, you're thinking about white women's side. I'm telling you this now.
Yes, what are you talking about?
I got it, Broadway. I got it. Don't worry. Watch this.
The thing is this. Women have historically had to be like, no, I don't care it's not about what I'm wearing. It's not about
I'm not arguing that because that's yes. I'm not arguing that.
You're asking the question. I'm giving you the answer. With to Ashton's point, white women are questioned like that. White women are taken for what for what they say. Black women are not treated this way. If that's the case,
in court.
In court, absolutely.
Hold on, let me say something real quick. Wait. One mic on Broadway. Let me say this one thing. It's so interesting, right? How the goalpost casually gets moved, right? When it's a black man against a black woman, we're made to be divisive, right? It's black woman over black man, right? But then when it's a white woman versus a black woman, it becomes, when it's a black man versus a black woman, all women, seemingly so, not all, but majority, seem to kumbaya and hold hands, right? Black women in support of white woman in support of black woman. Cool. When it's a white woman or a black woman against white or black, then you start to see the sides being taken. So the point that I'm making is it's always sides being taken. And what the fuck does this got to do about color, bougie?
Exactly. Sex is sex. No colors.
The fact is this. It has to do with color because I bet you if this was Kylie Jenner, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
But whoa. Look, now watch this. Now watch this. You said, I'm going to hold you to what you just said. You said, bougie, if it was reverse, if it was Kylie Jenner, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Hold on, listen, hold on. I got you. Now, if the roles were reversed, like I started off with, and Tory had a lot of inconsistencies and lied about things, do you honestly think that people will be siding with Tory still?
Listen.
No, answer that question. Answer that question.
Can I answer the question or you want to interrupt me? I will say this. I've seen people side with folks that have done deplorable things and continue to make excuses for it. So
what does that even mean? I'm slow. Can you get straight to the point? What? I'm slow sometimes. I'm slow. I didn't go to every grade. I didn't go every day in school. So if the roles were reversed and Tory was lying about a lot of things and had a lot of inconsistencies in his testimony, in his story, right? Do you think that women will automatically still side or condemn and make him the one that's guilty?
So just so I hear this correctly, if Daystar was the one, well, I'm trying to make sure I'm hearing.
I'm sorry because I'm not being clear. Let me be clear. The same exact situation.
Let me reflect
the same exact situation, just in reverse. Meg told a lot of lies.
The patriarchy is real. So women will absolutely side with men.
Now is that fair?
Even if they were inconsistent.
Is that fair?
Huh?
That's
humanity.
I'm not asking about humanity. Is it fair?
It's humanity.
All right.
Humanity is not fair. Humanity knows no fairness. And the fact that you don't want to take that answer, hey, that's on you, bro.
No, I'll say this, right?
That's crazy.
To the hypothetical situation of if the roles were reversed, what would happen to Tory Lanez? We already saw what would happen when the post first came out and it said Tory Lanez headlines everywhere. Hey news. Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. This man was This man had a podcast going on during COVID. His album sales were through the roof, right?
What are we talking about?
He shot Megan Thee Stallion. He got blackballed.
What are we talking about?
Artists stopped fucking with the Tory Lanez automatically off rip before any information that came out. The only thing that we had was that Megan Thee Stallion went to the hospital and it was reported allegedly that she got shot. That man's album sales went completely down. Everybody, he could not get.
They started taking him off of the records.
They took him off records, and then on top of that, it was said other artists would blackball other artists. They said, if you get on a song with Tory Lanez, I'm not fucking with you no more. We're not doing any other collab. So this narrative of what would happen to Tory Lanez is, if the roles were reversed, we've already seen what happened.
All right, hold that frame. After that point, hold that frame, Ashton.
Absolutely.
I want to play something. I want to play more, right? Case is developing, day 2, which happened today, I believe. Yeah, today, right? Came out day 2. They went to court, whatever. Check it out. Live on Broadway podcast. The plot thickens. Here we go.
Day 2 of the Tory Lanez trial is underway. It started with Meg Thee Stallion testifying. I'm going to take you through what she testified about in the morning. We're currently on lunch break. She's going to come back and complete her testimony this afternoon. It started with questions about Tory Lanez. She testified that she knew him only for a short time leading up to this incident. They were friends. She was asked, were you intimate? She said yes. She was asked, were you exclusive? She said quite happily no. Then they asked her about her relationship with Kelsey. She said that she's known Kelsey since freshman year of college. How do you know her? How would you describe the relationship? I found her answer very interesting. She said, I quote, we did everything together. They asked her, hey, how do you feel about being here today? She was struggling through the testimony. I was a little surprised at her answer. She said, I don't feel good. I can't believe I have to come do this. Not really sounding like a victim to me. She's a strong black woman. That's the image that the jury, I think, would have gotten of her. And I expected her to say something more like, I'm here for justice. I'm here to tell my truth. That man shot me. They asked her about when they left the party and when Tory got there. So she explained that initially she had gotten there with a larger group of people. Then later she asked Tory to come. By the time Tory got there, it was a lot fewer people. And then towards the end of the night, they asked her who was left. And she said it was basically just me, Tory, and Kelsey. And then we got in the pool. Then she said that when they were in the pool, her wig started getting loose. It was coming off. She felt uncomfortable, so she wanted to leave. She told Kelsey. Her and Kelsey went to the driver and said, hey, we want to leave. And this brings up the first point of contention where, according to Meg, the driver said, I won't leave without Tory. Now, obviously, Tory's team says Meg said she won't leave without Tory. And then the person actually the defense attorney asked, well, why didn't Tory want to leave? And everybody was waiting for the answer to that question because that's the whole Kylie Jenner angle. Unfortunately, defense objected. The judge said sustained. She didn't answer the question, why didn't Tory leave? The whole situation in the car. She testified that, hey, look, we all got in the car. I got out. An argument started to break out. Basically, Tory started the argument. I was shocked when she dropped and admitted that this argument started with Tory saying to Meg, hey, why are you snaking your friend like this? And basically revealing that he had hooked up with both of them, that they had been cheated on by him. And this sort of led into the whole big fight. At one point, she gets out of the car, but then she did get back in because they convinced her to get back in, and then we get to the shooting. And here, there was some shocking stuff. So here's some of the key stuff. One, Meg described that, hey, look, I got out of the car, I looked back over me, and then I saw Tory holding a gun, pointing it at me, and he shot me after he said, dance bitch. But then this is the prosecution asking the questions, and even in the prosecution asking the questions, she said stuff that makes you scratch your head, which leads you to believe that what's going to happen under cross-examination. The prosecution asked her this, where was Kelsey when Tory was doing the shooting? You know what Meg said? Meg said, I didn't see Kelsey. I only saw Tory. Question, was she in your field of vision? Because she was right there. Where was she? If you can't answer that question, that doesn't seem like it adds up, especially not in a case where the theory from the other side is that there was a struggle and that Kelsey was the one who let off the gun. If the victim can't tell you where Kelsey is, that seems highly problematic to me. The other parts of the testimony that were a little bit confusing is they asked her, where was Tory? Was he standing on the car? Was he standing on the ground? And she said, well, he was shooting up over the window, but I don't know if he was standing on something. And they asked her, how tall is he? She said, I think he's like 5'3" or 5'4". He's taller than that, but that's not tall enough to shoot over the window of an Escalade while standing on the ground. And then they asked her, hey, was he on the passenger door, or was he on the front door or the back door? That's the thing. She said he's on the passenger side, and they were like, all right, well, was it the front door or the back door? She said, I don't. the other part of her testimony that I found a little confusing, it didn't mesh with what the prosecutor said in his opening. The prosecutor said in his opening that Kelsey went to where Meg was, and that after Kelsey went to where Meg was, after Meg had been shot, that Tory was approaching them. Meg's testimony today was different. Meg's testimony was not that she got shot, she went away, and then Kelsey went to where she was, and then Tory came at the two of them. No. Meg's testimony is she got shot, she went away, and then she saw Kelsey and Tory both coming to them. Again, does not add up. We finished with, why did you not tell the police the truth? And this was very interesting, whereas typically prosecutors are in the business of supporting police officers. Here, they elicited testimony where Meg said, look, I didn't tell the police the truth because this was around the time George Floyd had been shot, and I thought if I told them the truth, they were going to shoot Tory. I didn't feel safe with the police. And I thought this was kind of weird, but she said it. She said, I'm a member of the black community, and in my community, we don't cooperate. What do I think? I think that the rest of the direct testimony is going to come out. It will be interesting. I think the defense attorney has a lot of room. Hey, what's up, bro? I think the defense attorney has a lot of room to poke holes in the story. And I think the rest of the witnesses are going to say things that the defense attorney is going to have to show that it doesn't all add up. That if Kelsey was right there, how is Meg Thee Stallion going and telling you that when I turned around and I saw Tory shot me, I have no idea where Kelsey was?
Live on Broadway podcast. I know that was a lot. But it was needed to be heard and needed to be played because we wasn't in the courtroom, right? A lot of this, a lot of what's coming out, some of what we already knew, right? It's been 2 years. And I'm going to show you guys in a moment why this case just begun, but it's done. And why this is going to lead to mistrial. Tap in with us. Yeah. Clubhouse, go for it.
I just personally feel like it's just bullshit. Because once we go into Kelsey's testimony, it's really going to open another can of worms. But, but to your statement earlier, would women protect Tory? There's still women who fuck with R. Kelly where we literally had video evidence of him with a minor. So that's the society that we're just in right now. People are willing to die on the hill for their so-called heroes. As far as Kelsey, I feel like she's siding with Tory. I feel like there is some motive behind what she's about to do once we play that clip. What's going to lead to a mistrial, because that is her role. Because Kelsey, all her role is, or was, this entire time since Megan blew up, was she's Megan's best friend. Mm-hmm. So she really doesn't have anything else going on for her outside of Megan. And it's an unfortunate situation that she would take it this far. But the police, at the end of the day, didn't do their job when it came to the crime scene. The testimonies of all the individuals involved are all over the place. So the fact of the matter is that this woman literally experienced this, which at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. Her personal life doesn't matter. The evidence, the events leading to it shouldn't matter. Yeah. She got physically harmed by a weapon that didn't belong to her. Yeah. Belonged to somebody else that was in the vehicle. Now, it's an unfortunate situation that nobody was able to do their job to be able to corroborate these stories in this investigation. So the fact of the matter is that the probability is going to lead to a mistrial is really, really, really unfortunate. Because with all the moves in this chess game being played, it's really sad to watch all of this go down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that at this moment.
I want to play one more thing. Live on Broadway podcast.
Oh my God. When we walked out of that courtroom just now, every single person was shocked. Every single person was frozen. A lot of people were looking at me like, bro, Tell me what is going on. Kelsey took the stand before she even started talking. There were fireworks. This started with Kelsey coming in and saying she is invoking her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and not testify. When someone invokes the Fifth Amendment, they have to be invoking it because if they were to testify, they would be giving testimony that incriminates themselves. She said, I will not testify because I would be giving testimony that I'm incriminating myself. That's what it means when she invoked the Fifth Amendment. Now, the government offered her immunity. They said that we will not prosecute you and use this testimony against you, so please testify. Her lawyer came back and said, well, that's not good enough. I don't want you to just not use her testimony against her. I want you to confirm to me that you will not prosecute her for any crimes arising out of this instance, out of this situation. The prosecutors said, yes, on the record, we will not be charging Kelsey for anything that came out of this incident. And then she testified. I'm going to go over the whole testimony in the next video, but here's the piece that we just left off at lunch. The courtroom is just, I can't even explain the tension. They asked her, at one point, did Tory ever say that I'll shoot you? And she said, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right, which suggests, they asked her, what's the context? When did he say I'm going to shoot you? She said, I invoked the Fifth, which suggests that the context was Kelsey was doing something, perhaps Meg was also doing something that would incriminate her. That's the context. That's what I get from it. That's my opinion. That's my read of it. For those of you who have been telling me that I'm biased and that there's only one angle to this story and that a man pulled a gun and shot 5 times at another woman and that the prosecutors haven't charged him with attempted murder, but I'm biased. If you believe the story that a man pulled a gun and shot 5 times at another woman, he hasn't been charged with attempted murder, and now you have another woman in the car saying, I plead the Fifth.
Wow. Live on Broadway podcast. I know that's a lot. That's a lot. Clubhouse, tap in one time before I throw it to Instagram.
It's so much confusion in everything that goes out, and I could say what I would think, right, or what happened, or who Megan Thee Stallion is actually protecting, because I don't think in that night that when she said, "Oh, the reason I lied to the cops was to protect Tory," I don't think it was to protect Tory. I think it was to protect her best friend. Her best friend. That's been her best friend since college. So, whatever argument went down, especially with because I've been there. I've had people that I call my homeboys, my dogs, my A1s, and I'm finding out, yo, you plotting on sleeping with my girl, and we going at it, and we're hot, and there's not nobody in the room that can stop us from what's about to go down. And that's the same thing here. If Tory fucking with Megan Thee Stallion, and they're, getting serious or whatever, and then it comes out that, yo, you fucked my best friend, and then the anger turns from Megan to her best friend, and it's like, are you serious right now? And I think that argument did break out between her and her best friend, and shit got hot. And especially, you throw alcohol or whatever else you've been drinking, whatever else been going on, you got a gun in the car, whatever else may be.
Well, just interesting, real quick, Ashton, right? So in the car is where Kelsey and this, I played this earlier, right? Kelsey and Meg, it's the first time that Kelsey is understanding that Meg was fucking with Tory. That's the first time she learned that. So with the liquor, how I see it is I'm just learning this information. Now I'm hot and it gets heavy. You get what I'm saying? Another thing to what Kennedy said a second ago, Kelsey was actually called to the stand to defend Megan. So when Kelsey is called to further and corroborate Megan's testimony, right? But she invokes her Fifth Amendment. Things start getting a little bit spicy in the whole measure of the testimony. So now they're giving her immunity. She's not going to be, so now that she has immunity and whatever happened won't be used against her, I wonder how this is going to play out. Right?
And it's going to be crazy because they didn't even put any casings on the crime scene. So the fact that nobody even knows if someone was shot 1 time or 5 times is crazy to me.
But hold on,
You were
because the plot thickens right there. The plot thickens
You were
right
hired
there.
to do a job as a police officer and as a detective. You're supposed to have markers. We're supposed to know exactly where the vehicle is. We're supposed to know where the gun casings is. We're supposed to know what type of gun it is. We're supposed to know who exactly in the car had gunpowder physically on their person, which is Tory and Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that for a fact that she was shot at. But it's crazy how they didn't even do their due diligence on the investigation we're supposed to know how far Megan was by the shell casings of where the bullets were shot at. Like, we don't know any of that. And to me, that is crazy for LAPD to have not.
LAPD always be messing up, though. They always mess up. They notoriously
I understand that, but that's
shit up.
crazy.
So hold on,
hold
on, Ken. Hold on, Ken, because the officer that you're speaking about, right? I want to throw it to Instagram because they've been patiently waiting. But the officer, right? The officer was recently let go. He was fired and relieved of his duty, right? So I'm gonna play some other stuff in a moment. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but tap in with me Instagram. I want to go to B first. B, tap in with me, Queen. Welcome to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I want everyone to take into consideration that Megan and Chelsea are best friends. So when you go through stuff, you're going to ride for your best friend, regardless of the fact. And then the next thing that we have to take into consideration that Megan said, me and Chelsea do everything together. They fuck niggas. They fuck niggas together. That's what they do.
Wow.
This is what they do. My man said it on the bottom. This ain't nothing new. It just got out this time. It went too far. So now they up here like, okay, now we got to have a plan. We got to figure this out. Because we got to also remember, too, Chelsea is the reason why Megan graduated. I mean, Chelsea helped her. So she's more of an asset than Tory. And then we also got to remember, too, a lot of this stuff comes into play, too. Chelsea is a very attractive female. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm not saying Megan's not, but you know, a lot of people do that look thing, the light skin a little bit. You know, we got to take that into consideration, too. And at one point, they was thinking that Megan was a man. You know what I mean? So I know how some homegirls I know, oh, girl, he got this and that. Oh, for real? Well, can I try it out? Yeah. You want to rock with him? It was a family thing. They did this. Tory was down at it. He was like, all right, let's do this. And then we got to keep taking in consideration liquor was involved. So you're not going to remember everything. It's times I've gotten drunk. And then the next day, I'm like, what happened? What did I do?
Yeah.
What? And you mean to tell me a dude shot at a girl 5 times and he missed? Come on. Really? This case is going to get dismissed. And the thing about it is that why Megan is sitting up there, because it's not just going to affect her career. I don't know if she's still with this dude. Her man not even in with her in court. I was looking at that. Like, right?
Party,
she's supposed
right?
to be with, pardon. I'm like, hold on. Right? She's supposed to be with that man?
Mm-hmm.
If that was my guy, my dude would be right next to me. So that's going to even affect her relationship, because I'm sure she said certain things to him. And he's like, wait a minute, babe. I didn't know you get down like that. You told me a whole different situation. Now, all this stuff coming out, now I'm looking at you sideways. You know what I mean? He's looking like, wait. See, you painted me as one thing. Now it's something else. And at the end of the day, Chelsea, I truly, truly believe it was a scuffle. I really believe that girl shot at that girl. And Tory, they both was tussling because both of them had the residue, so you can't blame who did it. This case is going to get dismissed. But the thing about it, what Megan is looking at, like, my character. Oh, my God, everything is going to get out. And now it's to the point now where people going to come at Chelsea like, you want to write a book? You want to do this? Now she's thinking. She's thinking like, this girl got all my secrets. You know, as women, we tell our homegirls everything. That's what we do. And then sometimes I always tell a lot of females, stop thinking these girls your girlfriend, because soon as something happens, she telling everything, especially when a bag is involved.
Hello? Wake that up.
So everybody, and it comes to that point where it was young lady on there like, oh no, we don't sit up here. No, a woman is always protected. White, black, whatever it is. We got to tell it for what it is. I've seen cousins, male cousins, child support have proof and stuff, and the woman is always right. The woman is always right. Even if she's lying, like the other young lady said up here. These women be lying on a lot of men. Y'all seen what happened? They dismissed him. Nobody ain't want to work with him. Nobody ain't want to do this. And he wasn't even found guilty. That's why he's not in jail. Because they knew from the beginning her story kept changing and changing and changing. And what is this doing to this? It's giving it more highlight to making more money. It's exposure. This is what this is all about. Exposure. This is what's going on in the world nowadays.
So I want to ask you, B, before we move it to the collectors and Marcy, do you think, because when everything happened with Tory, right, pretty much everybody, it's not even pretty much, they canceled Tory, right?
Yes, they did.
As soon as it happened, it canceled Tory. So obviously, YouTube viewership, I know you guys know what the question's going to be, which is, do you think the same will happen if Megan gets if Tory gets free, right? And it's a mistrial for whatever reason. Do you think Megan's going to be canceled?
If the tables was turned, do I think she's going to get canceled?
No, in the same exact situation, right? Say once the case is over and it's done, do you think Megan will be canceled as a byproduct of?
You know why they're not going to cancel her?
Why?
She lost her mother. She's grieving. It's a lot of stuff going on with her.
Wow.
They said when she drinks, she loses control. She spirals out. They're going to make excuses for this girl behavior. I seen it. They're not going to cancel her. They definitely not. They're going to protect this woman. And she's going to get up there. I know I lied, but you guys don't understand. I lost my mom. I'm still grieving.
To be honest with you, I don't even think she's going to go that far, because that would take accountability. That would take accountability saying that, yeah, I lied. I think she's going to keep the poker face on to you know, whatever. But collectors, tap in with me, King. I know it's been a lot. Everybody tapping. I appreciate everybody in their patience, waiting their turn to go. Collectors, tap in with me, King. We'll go to you next, Marcy.
What's up, King? I guess I was right. It sounds like I was right. Exactly what I said happened. Now, what my bill is, we don't know if them two were scuffling, because her word is so swan right now. Nothing I think that she grabbed that gun. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Might have shot at her homegirl and took it from her. That's how he got that powder on his hands. Mm. We could clearly tell by her pleading the fifth and doing everything she's doing right now, what she's doing. And this whole situation, Megan might save her friend too. But see, I know you. I'm gonna turn on Duke. We gonna. You know what I'm saying?
An interesting angle in this is if you my man, right? Well, let's just keep it on what it's on. Megan and Kelsey did a lot together, right? So everything together, right? So if Kelsey got information and Kelsey was called for the not for the defense, she was called to defend Megan, right? Why not just put him under the jail and just say he did it?
Because it got to make forensic sense after that. They not that ill. Number one, they females. Number two, they not real street females. She ain't that shit she rap about. So a lie and get away with a lie in a court like that on this level way, too hard. Some lawyers, it's already look, they already aired it out today right here on the show. We all know what's up. We all know what's up from what Kelsey did. It clearly shows you.
She invoked that Fifth Amendment.
She's not going to incriminate herself.
And that's why you invoked the Fifth Amendment, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation.
Now, what Tory's not going to do, Tory's not going to say nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because if Tory say something, you see how they blackballed him one time? They're going to blackball him double times.
It's a different type of case. It's a different type of case because he's fighting for his life.
He fighting gun from her. They don't want to hear that. That's why they slaying Tory. They don't want to hear that. Now it's going to come out with that hung trial. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a hung trial. He's not going to go to jail because in my opinion, from what's shown so far, he did not fire that firearm. That firearm was fired. But see, somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, you got to be real careful with, brother. Real careful with. She has a high influence. A high influence.
Yeah.
So for the people to think that what she pulled is okay is real fucked up.
Wait, Trey, tap in. You said the state is suing. The state is suing him. The state is suing him, no, not Meg or Kelsey. Suing him? I don't think he's being sued thus far. I think it
doesn't matter who's fighting, who got the state picked up the charge. Like, you know how if the person want to testify, the state will just pick up the charge anyway.
If they don't want to if they don't want to press no charges. Yeah, if
clearly,
the person,
it's clearly here. It's like clear as day what took place. You know what I'm saying? Like we could see what took place. She fired that firearm because look, Megan's story ain't making no sense. Kelsey not talking. And Tory not ratting. All right, it's gonna be okay. But everybody gonna have to take their blows here. Or we're gonna blow it up. We could do one or we could do the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clear as day.
Marcy, you got all the information from Clubhouse, from Instagram. How do you see this before we step into
Okay.
Yeah, please.
I absolutely agree with everybody on this, and I just want to ask, if Megan had not been a celebrity, would LAPD still be holding on to this case? That's an absolute no. If she was just you and me and not a celebrity at that level, would this be even in court right now? That's a no.
Right. Wow.
I mean, it's Megan and Kelsey are best friends. Of course they're going to protect each other. I would have.
I know that's right. Even if me and my man had beef, that's still my man.
I'm thinking of my friend, though. I'm thinking of my friend. I'm thinking of her kids, but what? Who's thinking about Tory? Because we're all attacking him. I mean, LAPD is going to protect themselves because they already messed up from the beginning. So they're going to protect. And they're going to humor the celebrity. They're humoring her right now.
Humanizing her. Yep, they certainly are. So look, right? On the back of that, right? On the back of that. Check this out. Live on Broadway podcast.
All right, you heard the bombshell from this morning. Let me catch you up on the rest of Kelsey's testimony. They asked her, how are you feeling? She said, I don't want to be here. They asked her, what's triggering you? She said, quote, lies from Megan. She was asked, what lies? That I betrayed her, that I am a bad friend, that I took hush money. She was asked, how do you feel about the allegation that you shot Megan? She said, that's ridiculous. She was asked, how did you meet Tory Lanez? Me and Meg both met him at the same time at a Rock Nation brunch. She continued that after they met, Meg wanted to hook Tory up with Kelsey, that did happen, that Kelsey and Tory were engaged in an intimate relationship, that Kelsey got COVID, went back to Texas, and during the time she was back in Texas, having left LA, Tory and Meg started getting it off. They talked about the night of the incident. They got to Kylie Jenner's house around 3 to 4 p.m. She was a great witness, by the way. She answered everything extremely knowledgeably, extremely truthfully. I believe every word she said. She never seemed like she was trying to hide something, except when she pled the fifth, of course. Now, she clarified this was not a party. Those were just people hanging out. There was maybe 5 or 6 people before Tory got there. There was a lot of alcohol. She said at one point she did pass out. When she woke up, Tory was there. They were all in the pool. They were having fun. She confirmed a lot of the speculation. Tory was hooking up or trying to hook up, flirting with Kylie in the pool. Meg was very agitated, trying to leave with Tory. Tory did not want to leave. She contradicted Meg's testimony. Meg said, I don't remember ever leaving once and then coming back. Kelsey testified they all got in the car. They left without Tory. As they were going, Meg is rambling, being just weird, and then says, I forgot my slipper. Let's go back. They all go back to get her slipper. Then they grab Tory. Kelsey didn't go in at that point when they went back. But when they came out, Meg came out with Tory, and Meg said to Kelsey, bitch, Kylie told us it's time for us to go. Tory drops the bombshell that he had been hooking up with Meg. Kelsey did not know this. The first time she learned this is in that car. That's when the argument ensues. That's when just lots of arguing is going back and forth. The prosecutor really tried to pin it down and make it look like the argument was only between Tory and Meg, and Kelsey was adamant that, nah, everybody was arguing with each other. It was a mess. She confirmed that Meg was dissing Tory's career, his skills as an artist. This stuff all crescendoed. The prosecutors asked her about, was there ever a threat made by Tory to shoot? She said yes. Prosecutor asked her, what's the context? She said, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. You can only invoke your Fifth if the testimony that you are compelled to give will incriminate you, meaning that the context around the threat, if Meg will not tell us, if Kelsey tells us, it would incriminate her.
Wow. Just a lot. Just a lot. But, you know, that's what we're here to do. We're here to unpack and talk about it. Let me throw it back up top. Clubhouse, what it do? YouTube viewership, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Thank you in advance. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We here, we talking about Meg, Tory, the trial, and here's the reason why. Here's the reason why this case is done and it just begun. Give me a second, Clubhouse. I'm coming straight to you. This case took 2 years. That is not the drop. That was definitely not it. This case took 2 years. 2 years. More often than not, you're being judged by a jury of your what? Can somebody tell me that? By a jury of your what? Peers. I highly doubt that whoever is on this jury don't know what's going on with this Meg and Tory situation by way of what the people is talking about. Highly doubt it. So more often than not, they tell a jury, close your ears, no bias, don't watch the media, stay away from this, stay away from that. Now, when you come into jury duty, they more often than not, they ask you, do you know anything about this? How would you feel about this? Are you okay with this? You have anybody in your family that's been shot, and any shot victims or anything that surrounds the case to make sure that when you give your opinion that it's unbiased. Niggas be lying to jury. Niggas be lying. I could tell you 100%. Niggas be lying at the jury. Meaning, if I by happenstance walk into a trial and I see my man and they don't know that that's my man, people will probably say, probably not Broadway, easy off of Broadway, not Broadway, but people would probably say, nah, I don't know him. And then get on it, then listen to the whole trial and be like, nah, he ain't do it, and stick up for their man. So my only point in bringing that up is to say that this trial is done before it begun. It's a mistrial. I guarantee you this ends in mistrial because everybody knows about this case. You're going to have a certain amount of men and women that's probably going to go towards Meg or Tory's side, but it's not going to be unbiased. It's not. And certain things is going to come out and shit. Don't be surprised if a jury drop out and be one of the juries drop out and they got to ask for, what you call that? The backup jury. I forget the name of them. But they probably bring in one of those people, somebody else, right? My only thing is I strongly believe that this case is done and it didn't even begin yet. It was done before it begun. Tap in with us. Clubhouse, tap in with us. Clubhouse, everybody don't speak at one time. Clubhouse. So let me ask you guys this question since you... Oh, all right.
What's the question?
With all these opinions circling the internet, how does the jury not give an unbiased opinion?
It would be hard, but they are sequestered, or they're supposed to be sequestered. Their phones are taken away from them. They're not supposed to pay attention to social media or speak about it. They should have been vetted very, very intensely.
Thoroughly.
So, yes, there is a chance that they could have been influenced, but that's subjective to them. However, the process, it should have been such. Now, hopefully, it'll go in a way where they can make a decision, but honestly, I don't think that they can. I think that because it's dragged on so long and there are so many bits and pieces that could possibly influence their decision, that it definitely will be a hung jury, simply because nobody knows the truth and the stories have been changing so frequently.
One time to trade 11208. Appreciate the bags being bought. I appreciate the bags being bought. Tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. You guys enjoying the podcast? You guys enjoying the recap of day 1 and 2 of the trial between Meg and Tory? Drop us a super chat. Drop us a cash app. Please and thank you. Show your support. Show your social currency by liking the YouTube video. Drop us a super chat. Drop us a cash app. And goddamn it, give me a cup of water. You know, understand me? Appreciate you in that POV, Allie. Kennedy, it's on you, Queen.
I feel like the only way that we would be able to get the full story is the street that they were on had cameras. So there's no cameras. And unless they put everybody on a literal polygraph test to where you get no immunity and you put all 4 individuals on a polygraph, I feel like that's the only way that we're going to get the truth. And it's crazy to me that the driver that's employed by Tory isn't saying anything. His name hasn't been mentioned at all.
Oh, he's going to be called allegedly. He's going to be called as a witness. And also, speaking about witness, they say that there was a witness. The defense is saying that there was a witness that saw, and I played this earlier, the defense is saying that there was a witness that saw a woman with a gun, quote unquote. So we're going to see how this pan out, because if this witness comes around, we're going to see what happens. Tap in with us, Clubhouse. The question that I'm asking you guys is, all these opinions circling in the court of public opinion, right? Circling in the fact, adding in that fact that this is a 2-year-old case. How do the juries give an unbiased opinion? How does that happen?
I honestly don't think that they can, which all the everything that's being brought to light, and I do agree strongly that it is going to go to mistrial, because I don't think that a decision can be made where it's not biased or unbiased, and that there's so many. It's everything about this case is a mess from when it first started to now that we're actually in court, and then we're going back and forth. You know, you're going back 2 years and you're asking the girls to explain how the night went and all the inconsistencies. I honestly feel like I'm watching that scene out of Menace to Society, where I'm just sitting here and I'm just looking at them like,
Word.
You know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up.
You know you done fucked up, right?
You know you done fucked up. So I think that I definitely think that this is going to get thrown out, and I wouldn't be surprised if in final hearings that the judge would say something along those lines of, this is ridiculous, and y'all turned what is serious, because there are people that go through violent situations like this where you're dealing with your best friend and your so-called lover or whatever. There are people that are assaulted, and there are real deal cases that are handled seriously. and this is kind of turning into a circus show. Like, I really, I wouldn't be surprised if the judge...
Whoa. I'm sorry, Ashton. Question to you, though. We talking about the jury. How do we know the judge isn't biased?
You don't.
I mean, how do we know the judge don't know all this? I mean, would it even matter? Because it probably wouldn't matter with the judge, right? That's the judge.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't. But you get, and I feel like that's the reason why celebrity cases are so hard, because it is extremely hard to ignore or not get information about this. This was the biggest thing that happened outside of when COVID first hit the U.S.
Very true.
Like, this was the next big thing that everybody was talking about.
And the hip hop community,
that was all. Everybody was talking about it. So, to me, the only logical thing to do is chop it up as, hey, Meg, you got shot. Oh, well. Pick your friends better, pick your situations better. Unfortunately, that's what it's going to turn into. And it's just going to be like, yo, we throwing this out. That's it. I'm done.
Man, look, live on Broadway podcast. Let's step into final thoughts. I'm gonna swing around. I'm gonna start with Clubhouse, and then I'm gonna go to Instagram. Tap in with us, YouTube. You know the vibe. Jump in the comment section. I want to see you guys. Tap in, hit that like button. Final thoughts. Live on Broadway podcast. We don't play a lot. I'm gonna play one more clip, and then I want you guys to give your final thoughts. I'm gonna wrap up day two. Live on Broadway podcast. Check it out.
Day 2 of the trial is in the books. Meg Thee Stallion has finished testifying. Let me catch you up on what happened in the afternoon session. It started with the prosecutor leading with this. She said, hey, Meg, I know we went a little fast this morning. I want to slow down. And Meg said, yeah, I was a little nervous. And then Meg actually said, these are her words, she said, I want to feel strong. I want to come off strong, and I didn't. And then she proceeded to testify, and she did come off a lot stronger and a lot more sure of herself in the afternoon session. There were powerful moments talking about, he shot me, talking about the pain and the trauma and the emotion this whole situation has caused her, talking about how she initially did not want to do this. She wanted to try to protect Tory, and so there were very powerful moments of the testimony. She explained that ultimately she did decide to go to the police and say that Tory was the shooter because of the false narratives that Tory had put out there. In her mind, she felt like she was a grown woman. She shouldn't have been hanging out with these people, getting involved in this mess. I'm not quite sure who these people that she was referring to when she was like, oh, I shouldn't be hanging out with them. She was hanging out with Kylie Jenner, her assistant, Tory Lanez. So I guess she just meant Tory. I thought that statement was very indicative about how Meg feels about this whole situation, which is basically that she did nothing wrong, she had nothing to do with this mess, and she just wants to be completely removed from the whole situation. She denied that Kylie Jenner told her to leave. She denied that the security guard, and Kelsey had at one point left and then came back because she said, I want to go back to get Tory. She said that it was the security guard who wouldn't leave without Tory, and that's why she was there. But at the same time, she also admitted that she didn't want to leave without Tory. So again, there was a lot of this. She just didn't want to say anything that made her image look bad, and I don't know why. She denied that there was any sort of relationship between Kelsey and Tory, which could have led to her being accused of going behind Kelsey's back. And in the car, she admits that in the car, Kelsey accused her of going behind her back. So I don't know how she's denying that there's no relationship. The defense attorney asked her, hey, what did Kelsey mean when Kelsey said that this isn't the first time you've gone behind my back? And Meg said, oh, I don't know. Then we get to the shooting sequence, and I think the defense attorney did a really good job here focusing on the fact that, hey, did Meg Thee Stallion actually see who was shooting the gun? I don't think there's any doubt that 5 shots rang out. The question is who pulled the trigger, was somebody pointing at her, and who? The defense attorney established this, that Meg is in the front seat, front passenger, that Kelsey is directly behind Meg, and that Tory is in the rear passenger seat. He got Meg to testify this. Meg gets out of the car. She walks a couple steps to the front of the car by the absolute front, and then she goes a couple steps beyond that. All of this took a couple seconds. Within that time, apparently, Tory Lanez has made it from the rear passenger seat to now being on the passenger side. And from the passenger side, he pulls out a gun. She said he pulled the gun. From where, it's not clear, but he pulled the gun. He points at her and shoots 5 times. Right before shooting, he yelled, "Dance, bitch," leading her to turn around and then see him with the gun. He pulls it, points, shoots, 5 shots. Where's Kelsey in all this? She has no idea. What does she then do? She then crawls away. The part that the defense attorney focused on is how, in a matter of seconds, does he get from the rear passenger to having a gun in his hand to being on the passenger side in position to shoot over the window at you all in a matter of seconds. To me, there had to be something else that happened in that sequence of events from the time she got out of the car and the time the shots rang out. And then she completely denied that there was any sort of altercation between her and Kelsey. As to whether there was an altercation between Kelsey and Tory, and there has to be some altercation because there's a fingernail on the ground and there's jewelry on the ground. And so and Kelsey has blood on her. Kelsey has her swimsuit strap ripped off. So how did that all happen? And apparently there was a bump. She says that I saw a bump between Tory and Kelsey, and I guess the prosecutors will use that to establish why Kelsey has got her strap ripped and jewelry on the floor broken and a fingernail lying on the middle of the street. Bottom line, her testimony was strong, it was powerful, it was a victim telling you that a man shot her. All right, so from here, I think there's two important issues with this case. One, what are the other witnesses going to say? What's the driver going to say? What's Kelsey going to say? And what is the there was a homeowner who lived there, who was in the house that is very close, very adjacent to where all of this is unfolding. He would have seen and heard a lot. He's going to testify. The other thing, the defense did a really good job of establishing that, hey, Meg's timeline here of in a few seconds, Tory gets out of the rear passenger, gets onto the passenger side of the vehicle, yells dance bitch, pulls a gun, lets out 5 shots. There could have been a lot more that happened there in that sequence, because that's a lot of things happening in a very small amount of time. And it is not clear from Meg's testimony that a jury would go ahead and say, oh yeah, that man pulled a gun and he was shooting out. I could see the jury looking at that testimony, looking at that sequence of events, saying that doesn't add up and that means reasonable doubt, or looking at it and saying, well, okay, maybe something happened here, but did this guy intentionally pull a gun and shoot at this woman? No, maybe there was another shooter, maybe there's another explanation of how those gunshots rang out.
Oh, live on Broadway podcast. Again, we recap day 1 and 2 of the Meg and Tory situation, the trial that's going on. Final thoughts. Allison, I yield to you first, Queen. Final thoughts.
Thank you. There's a saying that comes to mind, and it is, "Two can tell a secret if one is dead." Now, I say that to say that I feel like Megan needs to trust herself. She needs to be accountable to herself for the things for the decisions that she has made, for the friends that she has allowed to come into her space. She trusted Tory to the point where she's actually lying for him. She trusted Kelsey, and Kelsey she doesn't seem to be on her side at all. So I really hope that everything gets resolved in the way that is that the resolution fits for everybody. You know, if he's guilty, he's guilty. If she finds some peace within herself, which is most important, then that's a plus. But I just feel like she needs to heal, and that will help her professionally and most importantly, spiritually and personally.
Yeah.
In our park.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Allie. Thank you for that. DWR, you buy your mic. Final thoughts. Can you buy your mic, or you? I know Jay was moving around and whatnot. All right, cool. Kennedy, tap in, Queen. Final thoughts.
This whole situation is mad crazy. It's
crazy.
Really triggering for me and a lot of other women and stuff like that. But
sure.
Yeah, she's basically realizing that she's on an island all by herself. And the fact that this had to happen for her to sit there and realize that. And it's crazy because even with the people that you allow in your space, you really don't know who your friends are until shit hit the fan. There's always this thing called fair weather friends, which a lot of people do not understand that until, like we're saying, shit hits the fan. You could literally be friends with somebody for years, but until you're in the thick of it,
right,
that's when you know who's really in the corner. So now that she's down bad, it's looking like everybody is turning their back on her. Now, are people going to make excuses for her? Probably or probably not. However, if I don't want to share certain aspects of my personal life, that is absolutely my choice. Now, if a person feels like it's okay for me to get shot over the fact of I do not want to explain about any relations that I have with anyone or any personal details of my life. You really have to look in the mirror and figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. Because at the end of the day, if this was me, I still was assaulted. So if you feel like it was okay because of whatever history with the person who had a violent history, who also assaulted other celebrities and got away with it, you really got to look in the mirror and be like, what is wrong with me? Because misogyny is, this whole thing is like really deep rooted in everybody's minds. And it's crazy that something like this is really showing the people around you on what their thought process really is. Which unfortunately is going to a mistrial. Most likely, I feel like sometimes I wish that Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder and Olivia Pope was real, because I feel like we're not going to get to the bottom of it unless these people were real in real life.
Right. Shit,
But,
maybe they are. We just don't know about it.
I mean, if they're out there, please show up, because this is just nuts. Because I feel like it's not going anywhere. And it's just going to be swept under the rug. Now she has to deal with this trauma and and go to therapy and stuff like that. The other people really need to figure out who they are at the end of the day. And I feel like it should be a lesson to everybody else who isn't a celebrity as well. Practice emotional intelligence, handle your drinking, and handle yourself at the end of the day. Because when shit hits the fan, you will be on an island by yourself. This is Kennedy, and I'm done speaking.
Wow. Well said, Queen. Shorty, you gotta be careful with Shorty, because he'll invoke his Fifth Amendment, and nobody's even on trial. Shorty, tap in with us, King. How you feel, beloved? Final thoughts. Ashton, final thoughts, beloved. I appreciate you pulling up, King. Tap in with us. Final thoughts, King.
There's definitely a lesson in all of this, and to piggyback off of what Kennedy said, the lesson is definitely monitor and know the situation, know your environment, and I don't mean just in the scene as far as where you are or where you're out at. Know your environment means know the people, know the company that you're keeping. You reap what you sow. Sure. You can't plant poison and expect an apple to grow. You can't plant a lemon tree and expect to get apples. So I think that the whole trial is unfortunate. Somebody was definitely, clearly it said in the video, somebody was definitely shot. Argument broke out, stories changed, things like that. It's unfortunate because there is trauma. There is, there's three people. People always say there's two sides to a story. There's three sides to a story. There's his side, her side, and the truth. And right now, I feel like that the truth isn't being told, and it's all unfortunate. And all you can do is hope that people put themselves in better situations. If you have that toxic friend that, that you, in this instance, do everything with, everybody ain't meant to be with you in everything. Everybody does not follow you on the same path of life. Everybody's not supposed to go through all those things with you together, and it's up to people to understand, that season of when it's time to cut people off, or what their role is in your life. And I think that Megan is finding in a hard way, that her best friend was not really her best friend, and her season to let her go had been come and gone. So I hope that everybody that watches the case and watches the trial really picks up on that and really look at your life and really see, who do I need to let go? Because this could have been anybody. This ain't just, it's big because Megan Thee Stallion, but this can be anybody. So reevaluate your life and reevaluate whose season has come and gone, and let them go. And I'm out.
Wow. Well said. I expect nothing less from Ashton. Final thoughts on you, D. Lopez. Tory versus Meg.
Wow, thank you. I've been patiently waiting. I've been soaking up all this information. I didn't even know anything until I got into the room about the Kelsey Harris. Yeah, this is a great pod. Thank you all who contributed. Kelsey Harris, I didn't, that's the best friend. I was just shocked that a best friend would decide to plead her Fifth Amendment right. I read into it behind the scenes. I'm like, that basically means she didn't want to answer the question because in fear of incriminating herself. Well, there you go. That's mistrial 101, I would assume, because if she can't even speak, maybe she was one of the shooters. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Sure.
And changes everything. It changes that means Tory, whether he did it or not, he should be escape free from the situation because you can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt definitively that he was the shooter. So it leaves a lot of question marks, but I think he's going to be free. And, like Kennedy was saying, the trauma for Megan, I think anyone who goes through some sort of violence like that is going to need the therapy. She's got to work on herself, work on her circle, her friends. I'm sure she may have trust issues that come out of this. But it's just fascinating, man. I would love to see this as like a Lifetime movie.
Right.
Bro, I can't wait to read or listen to the audio book and watch the movie. Popcorn for everybody on me.
Popcorn for everybody on you. I love it. That's the way you close out. I appreciate that, D. Lopez. Instagram, you know how we do, man. I appreciate you guys' patience. I appreciate yours as well, D. Lopez. Just your patience and just listening to everybody and just sitting quietly in the background. Marcy.
Oh, Lord. Well,
final thoughts, Queen. How you feel on what you heard tonight? We're going to be covering this all. Every time a day goes by, every time there's a new trial date, we're going to be covering this. So tap in with us, Marcy. How you feel day 1, day 2 in the commentary by way of the Giants?
Well, I'm going to piggyback up what they both said because, yeah, Kelsey doesn't want to incriminate herself. That's exactly why she's pleading the Fifth. And I just want to know, because this is where I would have threw in the towel. That you're telling me they went back for a shoe?
They went back for a whole shoe, Marcy. A whole shoe. Oh,
to me,
God.
that really? You went back for a shoe?
A shoe.
No.
Well,
no.
Hey, listen.
They went back for more drama. They went back for drama to start something. They didn't go back for no shoe. That's my final thoughts.
Hey, listen. I appreciate
I don't know.
you.
If it was one of my red bottoms, I'm going back for my bottom.
So interestingly
you got
enough,
so much
though,
money,
Marcy,
you don't go back for no shoe.
Marcy, check this here.
Why would she leave without the shoe?
Listen. Kanye West, his whole DEFCON 3 situation rant and all that mess came about because he wouldn't go to sleep. Okay, his ass should have went to sleep and wouldn't have tweeted out that crazy nonsense. So stranger things have happened. Tap in with me, B. B, it's on you, Queen. Final thoughts. Thank you for hanging out with us, Queen.
No problem. I really feel bad. Like they said, someone got assaulted at the end of the day, and it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Thank God it was just her foot. And I just think that Megan needs to go do a lot of evaluation of herself. That once she changed, the surroundings around her would change. It's all this chaos going on because that's what's going on within her. And you got to remember the lies you tell. Because what you do in the dark, it comes to light, clearly, somewhere down the line.
I know that's right, girl.
Wow.
And then the next thing, what all of us that we have to do, especially these days, we got to tap into our spirituality. We got to talk to God, like, God, show me what my eyes can't see about this person. Tap into that gift of discernment. And I'm telling you, when you say, God, show me what my eyes can't see about a particular individual, if he ain't going to show you while you woke, he'll show you in your dreams.
Wake that
He'll give you the warning. Quick.
Wake that up.
And then, like they said, Chelsea, what is it? Kelsey. I can't even get the girl name right.
Kelsey.
Kelsey. That's clearly telling you she was in it for the wrong reasons. That wasn't her best friend. Because I know at the end of the day, regardless what me and my best friend go through, we gonna talk. We gonna talk it out. She ain't gonna sit up there and revoke anything. She gonna sit up there and be honest. So that lets her see right there. And Tory, he was just being a nigga. That shit let them see too how much respect
I agree.
he had for both of them. He was flirting with Kylie. So he was on to the next. Nobody ain't saying nothing about that.
Great point.
So that's what they really was mad about. Like, bitch, we both fucking him. He up here in this bitch face. Oh, we mad. We going on. Look at everything. We going on. Now we gonna fight each other. So the point of the fact is that we really have to be careful with that word best friend. Because clearly we see that these best friends that we think that we got are either killing you, lying on you, destroying you. They don't care. They gonna do what it is that they got to do to get whatever it is that they want. But they gonna do it, especially when you're the one with the bigger platform. They don't care. This girl sitting up here telling something, I just had a baby, postpartum. Girl, stop playing. Stop. Wow. She trying to use every excuse to get out of what she did. Her or Tory, one of them shot that girl. Somebody shot the girl. Somebody shot her. But the unfortunate thing about this is that somebody's really going to get hurt. And now everybody's looking at LA like, don't go to LA because if something happened, this may happen to you. Right? People always getting killed in LA. This is what goes on. LA never protects you. It's no protection down here. They never know what happened. With this technology nowadays, you could please, it's no camera. It's camera on all of us. It's cameras on us right now while we in our house. So stop with that. Oh, there's no cameras on the block. Come on, people. Come on, this is America. Come on. America is trifling. Come on, it's cameras. They know what's going on. But I just feel bad for Megan. And it just let us all see that we got to watch our surroundings. And that's my final thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. Collectors, how it go, beloved? Thank you for that, Queen. Collectors, what up, though, beloved? Final thoughts on you, King. And then we go to me and we wrap. Tap in with me, King.
Well, I feel like they all three gonna lose.
Ultimately.
Tory already, you know what I'm saying? He already feeling the most part because that shit fucked up his career-wise. Because like everybody's saying here, I do agree that it's gonna go into a hung jury. You see what I'm saying? They all three is protecting their bullshit. Because it got to do with all three of them. It ain't nobody innocent in none of that shit. They all three are played a part in whatever took fucking place. All three of them. You know what I'm saying? That shit went down and they all three are gonna lose. And who's gonna win? The game, the media. You know what I'm saying? They got us looking crazy once again. And I ain't gonna say they got us looking crazy. They got themselves looking crazy.
Right. Accountability.
Because like homegirl said earlier, with all that bread, who doubled back for a shoe? Tory, you a grown ass man. So you know what I'm saying? But we know that's all a lie. The other girl, she had a blouse rip, she had blood on her. So we know what happened. Shit got shaken inside that car. You know what I'm saying? And somebody got that firearm out, and that firearm went off. Whoever got that firearm out, wrong for that shit. If Kelsey grabbed it, if Megan grabbed it, or if Tory grabbed it, wrong for even bringing the shit out.
Right.
Period. And then whoever fired it is wrong too. That's why I'm saying all three parties are gonna lose, because just like y'all saying, motherfuckers gonna need therapy after this. Not just Megan, not just Kelsey, Tory too. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is gonna lose all kinds of support from certain, places they was getting it with they shit again. I don't think it's gonna hurt. I don't think it's going to hurt Megan's career at all. Only because she has as we've seen earlier, she has a very, very strong fan base. A lot of them, I don't know where a lot of people went earlier. A lot of women that was before all those tapes started. When you started playing them tapes, a lot of motherfuckers started falling back. But like I'm saying, it's a loss for all of them, and it's a gain for the wrong shit because they made us look crazy. Because then again, like she said too, y'all mad because he won Kylie? Oh, y'all bugging out. But this is what happens when you play in messy games. This is what happens when you play in messy games. That's what you do. Y'all can't act like he own no loyalty to y'all.
Facts.
So, they all three gonna lose, man. They all three gonna lose, and it's gonna look crazy. A lot of people in the industry is gonna be looking at Megan funny as far as her female, like, co-workers and shit like that, as far as her getting into a new circle of people and shit like that. People are gonna always look at you funny because some facts been spit out here about you, and it ain't pretty. And let's stop saying she's a gunshot victim. It was glass found in her foot. She didn't get no bullet in her foot, but it's the same shit. A firearm was fired, but she didn't. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing too. Like, we carrying on like somebody put a bullet in that girl's foot because that's what she claimed and cried to on TV.
Jesus.
Oh man,
it's real effed up, man.
Oh man. Listen, listen, man. What am I to say to this, man? I think that I think they both was wrong. I think all parties played the role in it. I like what you said there, collectors, right? I also think that, I think when we're talking about this bullet situation, and what's happening out there in LA is crazy. They saying, I remember there's something came out where the person went to go store the bullet, but then so there's no bullet that was found. Now there's no bullet that can be found because wherever they stored the bullet is no longer there. You know what I mean? So where's the bullet? You get me? So I want to know what this witness is going to say that was neighboring the whole situation. It's just a mess. And ultimately, it makes us look bad as a people. It makes us look bad as a culture, community, But unfortunately, this is what happens when you hang around people that. And to be honest with you, Kylie, is Kylie going to be called to trial? Because her lawyers probably get her out of that shit. You get what I mean? Because this is Kylie, like Kylie Jenner.
Where you know that.
Kylie. Like, Kylie, respectfully, take it how you want to, but Kylie ain't getting wrapped up in the nigga shit. Wake that up. You get what I'm saying? She not getting caught. Like, that was some nigga shit. Like, you fucking with him, and then this one goes away, then you start fucking with him, and then she's having sex with this person and that person, and it's just a mess.
That's how she got put out the party. Doing messy nigga shit. That's why security put them up out the gym. Kylie bag too big for that way. They not getting her in. She remember, she not at the scene of the crime.
Right.
And she gonna make sure they don't put her name in that shit. That's how big that bag is.
Right.
You know it and I know it.
Right.
That's a brand.
Right. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys tapping in with us tonight. Shout out to the YouTube viewership. Shout out to Instagram, Clubhouse, Facebook, tap in. You get what I mean? Tonight was dope. We'll be back, man. Live on Broadway podcast. Y'all know my vibe and y'all know my body. It's cheaper to be yourself. Be giant. Boom! Clear.
Money coming, money going. Do you have relationship questions you need answered? With spicy topics? DM us at Live on Broadway podcast. Have music, products, or an ad you want us to run? Email us at Live on Broadway Podcast. Be sure to tap in. Mondays, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on IM_Broadway's Instagram.